Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Fatin Nur Syahirah and I'm from the EC2C. Today I'm going to be talking about the negative effects of mental abuse. Well, mental abuse often happens, but still, some people didn't manage to figure why does it happen, especially in children. As we all know, children are one of the most honest in showing their nature or when they're being asked a question. Although it's not visible to others, it is visible to them who experience it even without them knowing. Some of the negative effects of mental abuse causes post-traumatic disorder, PTSD, fear, and having anxiety, which happens a lot, especially to youngsters nowadays. One of the negative effects of mental abuse is post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD, which is commonly caused by severe trauma experienced by an individual. Pain and PTSD often happen, especially to people who have had depression or anxiety in the past that is caused by any type of early and repeated traumatic situation for long periods of time. And they'll be more aggressive than before, even violent. It is also triggered by sight, sound, smells, or thoughts that remind an individual of a traumatic event in some way. For example, if you were attacked on a sunny day, seeing a bright blue sky might make you upset because it reminds you of the incident that you didn't want to remember anymore. And the study has been done by World Health Organization, WHO, 2024, that stated an estimated 3.9% of the world population has had post-traumatic stress disorder at some stage in their lives. So the likelihood of a person to develop PTSD varies depending on the type of traumatic event they experienced. For example, rates of PTSD are more than 3 times, yet only 1 in 4 people with PTSD in low and middle income countries reports. To sum it up, post-traumatic stress disorder really does affect someone's behavior on how they act in later life. In addition, mental abuse can also cause fear in one's life because they'll be kept in the thought of an incident that happened to them. This will heavily affect one's life, either good or bad, due to how one's endured it. Next, it causes one to gaslight and doubt themselves due to triggering issue. For example, it'll make the person experience it question their own memory or sanity. Due to this excessive abuse, victims often feel like they're trapped in the same situation. They feel scared. They often live in fear due to things like this. The study states that victims of emotional abuse are subjected to repeated threats, manipulation, intimidation, and isolation that cause them to feel anxiety. In summary, lots of people live in fear due to excessive abuse in their life. For my last point, due to mental abuse, one can develop anxiety due to stress and pressure that's them. It is a recurring issue that happens because victims often feel trapped and being watched or equipped despite of being out of the situation. This issue flares out lots of attention because it may seem obvious to some people that's close to the victims who felt the distance between them due to their anxiety. The anxiety can also cause panic attacks because the victims felt like things are pushing them around over and over again and makes them relapse over it. This could also lead to one's behavioral change, such as withdrawal, extreme passivity, or overly aggressive reaction. But in fact, it could make way for one's isolating themselves from the outside world because they refuse to connect with others. And a study by Jahoya S. Al-Nasser 2012 has stated that an investigation through an online survey involving 1,116 participants, 232 male participants completed the Childhood Trauma Questionnaire (CTQ), assessing emotional abuse, physical abuse. In conclusion, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, fear, and anxiety are all the combinations that causes from mental abuse to one's life. Bye bye.